Being underweight and obese is a big issue, especially here in the United States. Even though being overweight is common, most people treat people who are overweight differently. Everyone wants a skinny or muscular partner because it is a physically attractive component. The ideal is that women should be skinny, or the thin ideal of beauty, and that men should have more of a muscular physique. The thing is, though, you may be like that for a certain period of time, but as you age and grow old, bodies change and it can get harder to keep up with it. After a couple has been married for over 15 years, you would think that may not care as much since they are growing old together. Yet we do somewhat always care, and it can affect their marriage. Though the question is, how much does the spouse's perceptions of each other's weight affect their marital conflict and marital satisfaction? Does weight really have that much power in marital relationships? These psychologists did a study to find out and discover the correlation between how spouses perceive each other's weight and how it affects their marital qualities. How do these relate to each other? Participants included 197 middle-aged heterosexual married couples who had also had teenage children. Participants were part of the study for 3 years to get all the correct data and so that they could get more of an accurate sense of either marital conflict and satisfaction. Participants became a part of the study by recruitment letters sent through from schools. To measure marital satisfaction, the psychologists used the 7-item domains of marriage scale that husbands and wives would fill out. Questions like how satisfied are you with how you two divide the housework, and would answer between a 1 to 9, 1 being extremely dissatisfied and a 9 being extremely satisfied. To measure marital conflict, husbands and wives would fill out another questionnaire, but this one on a 5-item conflict subscale. These questions asked how often do you and your partner argue, and if so, how serious are the problems, and the husbands and wives would answer on the same 1 to 9 scale. There was also one more questionnaire they would fill out about their concerns about their own weight and how they perceive their spouse's weight. From the questionnaire, the wives and husbands answered. The results in the study showed that on average, both husbands and wives perceived their spouse to be overweight in year 2, although the wives' ratings for their husbands was higher than the husbands' ratings, which means that wives perceived husbands as more overweight than the husbands perceived the wives, which surprised me a lot. Wives did report higher levels of weight concerns about their own weight more than the husbands do. Women whose husbands perceived them to be heavier felt objectified by their husbands, which increased marital conflict and decreased marital satisfaction. But the wives' perceptions of their husband's weight were unrelated to what the husbands reported of their marital conflict and satisfaction. After reading these findings and seeing that it can affect your relationship, it should be more of a concern in our world. Being overweight or obese has been a large problem for decades in this country, but as the years go on, less and less people seem to care. Even the thin ideal of beauty is a huge problem since everyone wants to be like everyone else. Getting too underweight is also a problem. There are consequences in some cases when people don't take care of themselves, and it can impact their life and the lives around them. Psychologists in the future should continue to search for problems and solutions concerning weight in individuals.